in the bottom right in the red. He's been playing so much better since, honestly, a kind of disappointing Katowice. It's dark. And the upper left in the blue. About to stay down a game. He's not. He is for DKZ. Hero Marine. herO. Jeez. Can't do this to yourself, Bayo. I just cast Hero Marine in Max Packs, and now I'm casting someone whose name is herO something. Or like heroes in the name, and it's just ruining me. Why have I done this to myself? Why do I hate myself? I don't have a solid answer, but it's becoming very clear that the answer is I apparently do. So for now, well, I guess we should talk about this game just a little bit. Not a lot is happening, but we can kind of set the baseline for what we expect out of this series, because Dark and herO, while they are teammates, I don't really expect that to give us too much team kill shenanigans. Really, for the most part, gone are the days. I think NV was probably the lone surviving exception. But gone are the days where you would have these weird team kills all over the place because everyone lives together, they play together, they practice together, to the point where ladder used to be bad practice on Korea. Now, I'm hearing in the off-season it was also bad practice. I tried to talk to Maru to get some of his ladder replays to cast them, much like I do for herO. And Maru said, like, yeah, you know, I honestly don't have any ladder replays that are good because no one's active on the ladder. It's the off-season. We're maybe doing customs, but yeah, there's just nothing available. So I never got those replays, even as I said, I was willing to kind of pay him for them, which is unfortunate. But point being, gone are the days of players, like two players being on the same team, meaning that you're going to get some weird team kill shenanigans. So for now, Stargate on the way for herO. He's going a very standard opener in this first game of this series, as expected, because, hey, it's game one. It's Dragon Scales. It's a pretty standard map. herO does a great job of delaying the third base just a little bit. It gets the scout off, but he will see that the third base is on the way right at the proper time and coming out of dark. So there is that. But herO, as much as I talk about weird builds, herO actually played dark in the finals of the KSL 7 the night before this. They played I want to say there was a 4-game series that herO won 3-1. And in the final game of that series, herO built about 15 oracles and hit an oracle charge lot timing. And I'm not saying that that is what herO's going to do in this game. You know, we don't know. But it is tempting to say that, honestly, the meta is not really developing all that much right now. It's been the off-season for a while. PvZ is not a thing. You know, there's not been a lot of meta development in PvZ. And I think for the most part that is fair, certainly from the Zerg's perspective. But herO has been, in the recent weeks, has started to show us some interesting new things again. And this week's no different. It's going to be a Phoenix after that Oracle. And I think, I'm going to assume that this is just Phoenix or Oracle, Phoenix, Oracle. You get the Phoenix to be able to lift up the Queens at a base and get more damage done. There we go. Extra Oracle on the way. And you know, it has the added benefit of killing this Overlord that is on the perv pillar. So it's going to be one dead Overlord. I don't know how much more. Yeah, there's only one Overlord on this side of the map. So really not going to find that much value there. herO's not. But hey, an Overlord. That's nice. It's 100 minerals. It supply blocks dark briefly. There we go. 58 out of 58. So that much is value. The question also is, at what point does herO run across the map? I expected. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So leading with the Phoenix, Oracles on their way behind. And behind this, Forge, Twilight. So it seems somewhat likely that this is going to be, especially on 4-gas here, that we're going to see just that Blink Stalker idea from behind. It's a little, actually it's not even all that. No, it's not even slower. So you just get, instead of 3 Oracles, it's 2 Phoenix and an Oracles. Oh, the Queens were all defending that Phoenix, keeping the Overlord alive, and that means Oracles can find their way in. But one Oracle already taken pretty significant hull damage. So herO's not going to be able to find what he wants at the start. Another Oracle dives in the transfuse on the drone. Oh, dark. Oh, dark. He does get 4 drones, but honestly, that's kind of the baseline that herO wants to get out of a situation like this, especially when you commit the Phoenix like that. That is supposed to allow you to dive into one base and kind of eviscerate the mineral line. So Stasis Trap is not going to complete. Phoenix tries to dive in, but where there was a little damage, there's potentially a lot of damage. So Adepts now, they're going to try to shade it into the natural here. Ling's chasing that down, and I think it is very likely that these Adepts, yeah, they're just going to cancel their shades. Oracles, what are they going to find? Actually, they could drop a Stasis Trap now. Dark is a wee bit distracted, but the drones are pulled away immediately. And I thought he might get some gas drones, but he only gets the one. So Dark is on top of things in this game. Oracle thinking about another Stasis Trap, but there are Queens here, and it's already taken half hull. It cannot afford to take any hull damage. It will go down very quickly. So now, ooh, interesting. This feels like it's going to be disruptor play, actually. We have a robo on the way coming out of herO. And if you are a connoisseur of herO's PvT or PvZ, one of the things that kind of have defined his heavy pressure style was he would not get a robo for forever. He would go put a pylon on the map, maybe a gateway, maybe something like that. But he would go mass blink stalker. He would run across the map, and that robo was very late, if he ever got it. Now, Queen's now taking a little bit of damage. Adepts are going to shade out. And is herO lost a unit this game? Okay, Stasis Trap doesn't count. herO is playing a perfect game in this game number 1, 7 minutes in, just about. So, hey, that's something. And he still is not going to lose anything. But I'm really interested to see what he's going to do with this robo, because again, herO style, that heavy pressure blink stalker style, does not get a robo. It eventually gets a Warp Prism. Sure, everyone needs it, but for the good majority of the game, you don't go for it. So this does slow herO down quite a bit, but in fairness, he has been opting for other things. That is honestly, it's not even that much faster of a fourth base compared to what we're used to seeing coming out of the herO style. So now Stasis Trap, gets a couple drones. Really not all that much. But Charge on the way behind this. Now Dark's on the map. These Adepts are not going to fight all that well. +1 is done. You got that one going for you, herO. How are you going to be able to hold on to this? This is a massive arc of roaches trying to find their way in. No shield battery at the third base. herO honestly may just be dead here. His Blink Stalker micro is going to have to be really, really good. And the concave he's setting up here at the start is nice outside of the third. But these roaches are zoning. They're not doing much of anything. They're just they're buying time for their brethren into the natural. And now the roaches are going to get on top of the robo. Biles are not going to hit, but this immortal is not going to pop out. Not at all. Roaches into the natural. They're going to find, well, as much value as they can. Biles are going to drop down. Well, it's all continuing to miss. Actually, only 4 drones have died thus far. So the only substantive damage really is a couple pylons that prevent warp-ins. I mean, that's great for Dark, but it's not long-term damage. That and he killed the robo. I mean, these are valuable things, but realistically here, herO's holding on pretty dang well. He's still down half the army supply, of course, so Dark's looking for that surround, and herO kites backwards. What are we at? 2/3 of the way to +2. Charge about 15 seconds from completion. Those are going to be the timings, and herO needs to bring these gateways back online. He's banking money that he needs to be able to spend, and in fact, was that the cyber? Yeah, he lost the cyber too, so he can't build any more stalkers. It's just going to be charge lots from here on out. And now there we go. Charge is done. But herO, I mean, he needs to rebuild the cyber. He needs that so badly. Stalkers fight roaches. Zealots don't really. So herO holding on desperately, but the roach count just seems, I mean, insurmountable at this point. Zealot's going to warp in, but they're going to go down pretty much as they warp. And the stalkers now into the natural. Biles, they get damage on an oracle. They're not going to kill it, but at least they knock the shields down. And well, here come the reinforcing Lings. Dark, he hasn't killed herO yet, but he's doing an excellent job of keeping herO supplied down in the dumps below 100 supplies. Biles are going to land on the Zealots once again, and now there's the economic damage. 12 drones or 12 probes have hit the deck. Lings find their way into the third, but Cannon, doing a good job. Biles continue to miss, but these Zealots, they're just not finding value, and the oracles, they keep getting made, sure, but they run out of energy. And now, I said there was the economic damage into the third. It didn't really find much, but the natural, this is where things really start to go down. Yeah, there are oracles on the way. That's great. There's one oracle trying to defend, and herO does have that fourth base. But 21 drones have hit the deck here in Dark. Yeah, he's not maxed out anymore, but he's really showing no signs of stopping. So Orochi's in the natural. They kill 30 probes. And herO doesn't have the money anymore to be able to defend this, even if he had the tech, even if he had the army supply. So now Dark is aware that there is a fourth base. I don't know if he knew of this prior, but he certainly does now. So shield battery overcharge gets popped and it dies immediately. Hero's going to try to hold on right now. Roaches get on top of the Stalkers, and they have plus 2. I mean, the Stalkers are good against Roaches, but again, it's just it's a function of supply. Although, as I say that, the gap is smaller than it's been for quite a while. Right? It's only 5 army supply right now, and that is starting to decrease. Heroes traded incredibly cost effectively here. Actually, that's not even it. No, okay, Dark has just invested in other things. That's not army supply. Now there are 12 Hydras on the way, and do we have Roaches? I assume we still got 12 Roaches. So enough Roaches on the map to buffer for the Hydras. And herO, he's going to have to run across the map. He's got one shot. He's got one opportunity. He's weak. Arm spaghetti, etc., etc. He's going to have to try to make it happen. But he does have a War Prism. He will be able to technically reinforce. And with these 4 Oracles, I mean, that is a lot of damage from the sky. So these Hydras, they seem almost insurmountable. The Oracles are getting absolutely shredded. And that's going to do it. Dark takes game 1. The bottom left in the red. He's have a game off. Well, just honestly, some really good defense and then a massive counterattack. It's Dark. Upper right in the blue. Didn't get enough damage he wanted from his aggression and then was not able to hold on against so many roaches. herO. Ancient Cistern, it's a bit bigger of a map. The situation, the arc, the concave outside of the natural or between the natural and the third is not nearly as wide open as it is on Dragon Scales. It's a lot easier for the Protoss to defend, so I don't think we're going to see the same type of timing from Dark in game number 1 or in game number 2 that we saw in the first one. It worked out for him incredibly well. But that was because in part he could kind of threaten both bases at the same time, and it was kind of a pretty easy spot to section off. And yeah, you can park your roaches right here and kind of threaten the natural and the third at the same time, but it's a lot easier for the Protoss to get the concave. It's a lot easier for the Protoss to do a lot of things that they might like to do. And also, there was no shield battery at the third base. herO had a lot of his stalkers just not in a good position. Yeah, on top of that, his SimCity, now that I'm kind of thinking about it more rationally, that SimCity was not incredible. But now an Adept is going to shade on forward here, and it's just one Adept, though. And the Queens and the Lings, they're going to force it back for now. Here Marine is playing the same build that he did in, well, the same opener that he did in game number 1, which is, of course, you put an Adept across the map, fine, that's whatever, but it's a Stargate opener. You get at least an Oracle out first. I'd love to see him try the Phoenix play again. Not because I think it's good or not good, but I have seen it work out pretty well for him if he actually commits to it. If he does go and, dive the Phoenix on top of like the solo queen in the third. The problem is Dark is very good with his queen positioning. So Dark never really gave herO that opportunity to find the value that he was looking for. And yeah, we're not going to see it anyways. One Oracle's out, second one on the way. We're going to see a third one after this, most likely. Should see a third base popping up right around right now. And this is herO back on his business. This is the distillation of the herO opener for the last year or so. Triple Oracle, quick third base. I'll go into Blink behind that, maybe. And that's not to say he's going to go into Blink behind this. There's the second Oracle, third one on the way. Now Adepts are going to shade into the natural, and this is always a little fun. Oracle thinks about diving in as well, just soaks damage from the Queen. So 3 workers will go down into the main base. The Spore's not ready. Only 4 die. Honestly, that's a really good defense from Dark, given everything. He's going to get the Oracle too. Dark handles this perfectly. I don't think you can handle it even better. You will lose probes or you will lose drones to what herO was doing. But 4 drones, killing the Oracle, getting both Adepts, perfection. And again, it's so interesting seeing this series given what we saw in the previous night. KSL 7 happened on Friday night. This was the finals. And herO won that 3-1. herO looked a lot, I don't know, maybe a lot sharper. And fourth base does get denied. Oracles try to dive in, but there's a Spore and a Queen here. And it's heavy hull damage already. 4 workers do go down. And now you got to be so careful if you're herO here. Gets another damage. Oh, herO. He will. Jeez. Okay, well, he's not going to get the fourth base. I thought he was going to. That Oracle is one shot, one Queen Spine away from death. I really thought that was going down. And now we're seeing this is the same idea from game 1. Now, it's triple Oracle instead of 2 Oracle, 1 Phoenix. But it's the same idea. 6 Adepts across the map that you kind of were going to get anyways for defending the third. Maybe a couple extra, actually. You'd probably stick 2 to 4. But now hero's going to put pressure on this third base, and that's a lot of damage he's going to pump in. This fourth base is going to have to get canceled. Will the drone go down? It will. So, yeah. herO did not get that. Dark held the initial aggression incredible. I cannot justify this enough. He held it incredibly well. But the fourth? The follow-up aggression from herO, that finds a little bit more damage. So, what are we looking at? 9, 10 total drones have hit the deck. A canceled fourth base. Life is a little bit more complicated for Dark than it was in that first game. He doesn't have the nice, clean, easy path to victory that he did to kind of, again, defend, don't take any damage, run across the map, kill your opponent. So Dark adding 3 hatcheries at once here. A macro hatch in the main, a fourth base, and a fifth, and those Oracles look like they have enough damage to cancel this base once again. Especially with the Adepts here, so... Do we have any roaches on the map? No, Lings are going to have to rotate over, but they're slow. The Queens are slow here as well, trying to get damage on the 1 low Oracle, but it's another cancel. Yeah, this is a Dark double expanded, but still. It's another dead hatch. And it's crazy how quickly this game can turn on its head from, wow, Dark is handling this perfectly. He's doing such a good job too. Wow. Dark just lost his fourth hatch twice. And he's lost 10 drones. Oof. Look at this on the... You know, I'm actually really excited about this game, though. Dark is behind going into the mid game. I mean, that's fair. He's not permanently behind. He's not massively behind. He's not uncorrectably behind. But he is a little bit behind. And his response is playing a style that used to be popular in like 2017, maybe? No, it was popular in HOTS. Popular 2014, 2015. Where you would go, oh, the Warp Prism goes down. That's unfortunate pathing there, herO. Good job. Great positioning there, Dark. But you would go 1-1 Lingbane. You'd get a quick hive. You go to Ultra Caverns, and you would play this Lingbane Ultra style. And it kind of went out the wayside pretty quickly because Protoss kind of realized that you don't attack. You stay on 4 bases. You even stay on 3 bases sometimes, depending on how aggressive the Zerg is. You build a ton of Archons. You build Archon Immortal Stalker. Maybe you get Storm if you can afford it, and you get up to like 10 Immortals and 12 Archons or something, and the Zerg army is never going to win. So I'm curious to see how herO is going to respond to this, because this was certainly a thing that he fought. This was certainly something that he dealt with. Oh, jeez, another base gets denied. This is certainly something he dealt with when he was active prior to his military service. So there we go. Adrenal's on the way. Ultra Caverns on the way as well. Burrow, all these wonderful things. Here's Double Forge. His economy is going like gangbusters. He's on 79 probes. His tech is where it needs to be. Adding in a second robo. I want to say he should just be chronoing out Immortals. I mean, that is actually the play. But I don't know that he knows quite what his opponent's up to yet. Has he seen the Ultra Cavern? No, he hasn't. So he's not seen the Ultra Cavern on the way. Actually, did he see Hive? That's the second question. Yeah, so he saw a quick hive on the way. That is something. He's just looking to hit before that, but there are 21 Banelings on the way, 14 already on the map. So that's a little, without secondary splash, without disruptors or ideally storm, this does feel a little bit awkward. So Archons are going to get surrounded already on the right side. Banelings do need to actually make the connections that they want. Now, Stasis Trap is going to be nice, but it's not going to be nice enough here. The Banelings get on top of all the Zealots. And if herO just kind of maxed out on this army, I would have loved it. But now that he's decided to move out, this is just really spicy. But as I say that, you know what? He's starting to push through. Queens are going down. Zealots steer clear or flush out, scare away all the Ravagers on the left side. One Immortal stays up, and maybe. But Lings are now going to filter in once again. Ravager doomed to fall. Bile kind of lands. In fact, one Archon goes down to yellow HP. And Dark? You know, that was not quite as good a fight for him as I thought it was going to be. Down about 2,400 resources. And because, I mean, he's not 89 workers, but because he had to take such a big fight, and because herO has such a strong economy, we have no chitinous plating. The Ultra Cavern's done, but he can't afford to use it right now. And honestly, hero's composition invalidates Ultras anyway, so Lings are going to go forward here. Bailey's run right into the Zealots. That's going to be pretty nice. Split's good, but not great. And now the second line. Immortals are starting to fall here. Archons are taking up so damn well, though. And that's going to be nice now. Roaches, though. They get on top of the Archons. They get on top of the Immortals. And the Immortals, they got to run. They got to hide. So the Dark's army is not as big as it once was, but it is only 3 Immortals and an Archon. Warp Prism, though, effectively doubles that count. Biles, though, on the Warp Prism is not going to kill it. Queen goes down. Single Ravager here does not seem to be enough, and it's funny. The proof of my eyes and the proof of my eyes are lying. On the one hand, hero's down half the army supply. On the other, it feels like Dark is not able to take the fight that he wants. But at the end of the day, yes, herO is going to get pushed back here. Dark runs right on through, and now he's got the room. He's taken 0 economic damage. And now he's got room to build those Ultras. Now he's got room for chitinous. I would love to see +2 armor on the way as well. Get yourself up to +4 armor. Although I'm not up to date on the math on how many immortal shots it takes to kill, say, a +3, so +1 plus chitinous ultra versus a +4 versus +5, whatever it is. It may not matter, but for now, Dark is finally he is getting that second upgrade, and herO is kind of retooling his army. He's building up into that heavy immortal count once again. He's got 5, 2 more on the way, building Archons as well. And I'm going to reiterate what I said. I think if herO just built that the immortal Archon army on the ground, got some storms behind things, just sat there maxed out on 200, I would love his position. But as it stands, attacking in like that was not all that great, but he's going to try to do it again. 95 army supply to 106, and this is much better. Couple 2/2 charge lots on the left side, and now this is a dead base, but Dark on the counterattack, moving in everywhere. Ultra's trying to find surface area, but they're not going to get it, not yet, as the Immortals, they kite away, and that's a metric ton of Immortals. So Baneling's thinking about rolling in, but not just yet. Zealots are going to get dealt with by these Ultras and Ravagers, and Dark's got Ling drop into the main. Baneling's looking for value. On the other side, value is found. The army goes down. And Ling's in the main, but this army at the front, these Ultras are going to get surrounded, body block, shot down. 19 probes have died, though, and this is the value that Dark, this is the value he's been looking for. At least he's going to be pretty happy here. These effectively +5 crackling, or Zerglings, right, with crack, and they do a good job. But as nice as the economic damage was that Dark was able to find, herO is still on 5 bases, still on 50 probes. And this Ling counterattack, it's going to continue to find value, but can you fight the army, Dark? That is always going to be the question here. And for now, it seems like Dark just doesn't want to try. Baneling's trundle in. Zealots take a lot of damage there. Bye-bye Zealots. But the Ultras, they're going to have to run away for the moment. And pretty soon, we're going to have 2-2 on these Ultras. Or 2-4 on these Ultras. 2-2 on everything else. Ultras eventually getting Ultra Speed. What is the solution going to be now to this Mass Infestor Archon composition? Or Archon Immortal composition? I confess, I don't rightly know. So even as herO is, again, taking a lot of damage, his army is immensely powerful. So Lings go in, they get vaporized by Archon shots. And yeah, they get on top of the Immortals, but look at the Immortals shred everything, microing backwards here. Lings, you know, they're doing a decent job. And you know what, actually, wait, no, Dark's holding this. Never mind. He's doing a damn fine. Actually, is he? Yeah, the 2 Immortals, 3 Immortals are here. herO microing for his life. But only 2 Immortals remain. More are going to reinforce across. This Ultra is doing so much work. And the supplies, they stay pretty even. Lings get on top of the Zealots. They only have 2-2. herO couldn't afford 3-3. These 3 Immortals, this Archon that continues to rally across. It's going to have to be worth so much here on the backside. Lings Ultras get on top of the Archon Immortals, though they got a fire base on the high ground. And that's going to be pretty fantastic. Now, Archon's moving forward here, and the Ultras are the only defense. Drones now have to get pulled, but it's into Zealot Archon. That's not going to work out super well. The last Immortal is going to hit the deck here, and herO, it seems like he's doing it after all. It felt like the damage that Dark found was going to be just a little bit too much, even with the superior army. But at the end of the day, Immortals, Archons against a bunch of Ultras seems like it's just going to be a little bit too strong. Ultras continue to go down, and Dark has to tap out. Barely. Razor's Edge, barely. It happens, but Dark, he falls, and herO ties us up 1-1. In the upper right, in the red. He had a great game, tons of damage, but Ultras against Archon Infestor just don't work. Or Archon Immortal don't work. It's Dark. Bottom left in the blue. What a comeback. herO. So game 3. The map that no one really wants to play on. Although it is interesting that we are starting to see it a little more often in the pool. As kind of other maps get banned out. I'm going to assume that Neo Humanity is going to probably be one of the maps that's banned out here. Actually, I need to go look at the win rates. I don't have a solid... in this map pool, there's not like a 1 or 2 maps that are obviously bad. I think Altitude, many people were saying it is kind of an obviously bad map. It's too turtly, it's too defensive, it's too big. The bases are a little bit too far out. It just feels bad. But yeah, you know, we've had decent games on Altitude, and there was a lot of doom and gloom about how this map was broken for Zerg in ZVP. Like, there was no way to win because the Zergs are going to take the gold base and yada, yada, yada. Like, the gold base is their third or something and just have too much. I can count on, like, one hand the number of games where I have seen the gold base get taken on Altitude. It is so kind of exposed, and it is so far away from the standard expansion pattern that it has just, even as a fourth, it has just not really been all that relevant. Which I think is super interesting, by the way, because again, I saw multiple people telling me leading up to Katowice that, yeah, you know, there is nothing. And this is a map, this is like a 60-40 Zerg map, and I just have not seen that. But for now, herO's got a Stargate on the way. This wouldn't be herO if we didn't get it at least like 60% of the game. So we've hit our threshold, right? herO, go and Stargate the first 3 games in this series. Where he goes from here, though, I mean, he's got a bunch of openers. I would love to see the... ooh, he's going to get damage done there. No, he gets a... Oh, yeah, you know, he gets a drone, and he forces 2 gas cancels. Not bad. Yeah, gas cancel is going to be cheaper than a Spore, but it's still less mining time. It still does cost some amount of value. But what I want to see, and we saw this again in game 4. Oh, Link's farther away into the natural. Yeah, it's not actually not all that impressive. The wall is wide open. herO's not completed it just yet, so that's fine. But Lings do get a good scout in. They don't see the Stargate though, and that is something. But Adepts into the main base here. They're going to kill the other 2 Lings that were made just initially, and that's going to be a couple more dead drones. herO really started to find a much better position in this game than he did in game number 1. Game number 2 is a little awkward, but 2 drones go down. 3 total in this game. He gets 2 gas cancels. He's feeling pretty good. But what I was talking about before, you know, I was so rudely interrupted by herO and Dark interacting on the map. I mean, how could they? Is I want to see herO do the build he did in game 4 in the KSL as well. The charge lot, like 10 Oracle timing. I would love to see how Dark would respond to it. I think even more importantly is this Oracle. You know, it takes half hull damage. And it's kind of interesting when we look at something like this where normally, as Lings are going to try to put pressure on the third, and Dark does this more than most. He overbuilds a couple extra Lings and does force either the Oracle to return back home or force a cancel on the third base. So he gets to Adepts. Lings fall, but he does take the energy out of the Oracle of the second one that wants to run across the map. But Anyway, I would love to see how Dark would respond to that charge lot mass Oracle style. Now that he's seen it so recently, that's also the reason why we're not going to see herO do it. There are certainly things that can punish it, that can hold it pretty well. Part of the reason it's good, much like any all-in, or most all-ins, most cheeses, is, you know, it's something that you got to scout, and Dark certainly did not have familiarity with it. But now, triple Oracle onto the other side of the map here. herO already made a bit of a mistake leading with the wounded Oracle, which is not what you want to do. Almost gets punished for it. But Dark has built more Lings. So, despite herO not getting a lot of damage done, I mean, yeah, he's been good. He's killed 6 drones, but he's lost 5 adepts for it. Dark has built a lot of Lings. Those Lings have not gotten a lot of damage. So, herO, up until the 5-minute and 20-second mark, was ahead on workers. And if you want to reduce ZVP down to a very basic level, the ZVP is a race to a third base and is a race to the Zerg overtaking the Protoss in terms of drone count. By the way, I was talking about wanting to see that mass Oracle charge lot idea. Well, we're getting mass Oracles. We've got 4, but there's a 5th one on the way. And herO's not hiding it, though. So this makes me think that we might see something different. Although, even a 4-oracle is not that weird. Not for herO. A 5-oracle is. So what I want to see him do, as it seems, oh, he's actually bringing the oracles together. Why is he not hiding this? There's Twilight. There's a Forge on the way. This is very late for a blink timing, by the way. But now we got a Hexicle on the way here. 5, or Hexicle eventually. 5 on the map. Another one getting made. And is herO's going to be able to cancel this 4th base. Yeah, there's no saving it. Like, this is so much damage. Watch it drop. Chunk, 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 chunk. Dark's going to send Queens over. He's wanting to buy some time, but I mean, this is just, yeah, got to cancel. And really not a lot of damage on the Oracle either. Oh, okay, wait. Did herO see the Baneling Nest? Where's my mouse? Where is this Baneling Nest? No, herO didn't see the Baneling Nest, but he had charge on the way for a second. And then he canceled it. Then he got blinked, then he got double Forge 1-1. So, for a moment, it looked like he might have been trying to go for the same style he did in that game number 4 in the KSL. But I think the logic is that, okay, well, you know, Dark's going to expect that out of this 6 Oracle play, so I'm going to play the opposite. I'm going to be greedy. I'm going to do what I can, but now Stalkers are caught out in the middle of the map here. Lings get a decent surround. Oracles are going to be, they're going to be able to defend this, though. So Stalkers, you know what? They will fall. Even without +1, at least the majority of them will. Now Adepts find their way into the natural, or into the 3rd, and Banelings get good connections, but the big problem is the Adepts were targeting the Queens. They weren't targeted on the drones. That could have been a lot of dead drones. Instead, it's not. And that's a lot of dead Adepts instead. So now Lings try to find their way into the natural, but there's a full, well, the wall is there just in time. And the Oracles, well, they drop a Revelation, and they back up. So Dark is just messing around at this point. He doesn't want here to get a 4th base, so he's just harassing. He's kind of come to the realization that there are no Stalkers, or that the Stalkers do not have blink, that the upgrades are not really ready. But also on the flip side, Dark has wholesale committed to this low-tech style. It is 8:30, and the layer is complete. He's got an Infestation Pit on the way immediately afterwards. Seems like he wants to go for the style he went for in the previous game. And yeah, you know, while the counterattacks, the run-bys found value, I fail to be convinced by this, especially on a bigger map. And oh, Dark. That's not what you want, bud. Double Infestation Pit. Hopefully he cancels one of them. We'll keep an eye on that one. But now Stalkers do have blink. They do have 1-1, and there they go, running away. Oracle's not quite over top, not to defend, not just yet. And there we go. Okay. So previously, the Adept scared things off. The Lings decided to not commit, but that one was a full wall. Pylon went down even as a couple Stalkers fall. And, well, sorry, Pylon was made as a couple Stalkers fall elsewhere. Easy to say. English is a fun language. You can say A pylon goes down because you place the pylon. A pylon also goes down because the pylon dies. This is a lot of stalkers from herO. He's up 20 army supply, charge halfway done, but that's not going to matter. It's a 1-1 timing coming out of herO with 5 oracles. Stasis traps are going to go down everywhere. And it's banelings against oracles. I mean, realistically, that's not incredible. Lings, they go on a counterattack. They're going to try to find the gateway. More stalkers run in. Banelings are looking for the connection that they can find. Stalkers blink backwards here. The Ling counterattack, though, there's nothing really to follow this up. More and more banelings are on the way. Dark, he wants to put pressure on a base, but I don't really like that all that much. Banelings continue to connect. Well, here come the Lings on the other side, but now it feels like the Lings are a little bit too late. So many. 9 stalkers. This is 9 gate 3 base. herO's all in here, but it seems like it's working out pretty well for him. Another queen getting pretty low. Oracles all over the top. More and more Banelings going to warp in. Hive is just about done, but that's not going to matter here. A Baneling gets canceled, a second one even. And Lings, well, they're going to do what they can, getting on top of these Zealots as they warp in. Banelings on the backside, well, they're not going to get a lot. And these charge lots, they continue to kill the Lings. herO is skyrocketing into this game at this point. Now, massive Baneling connections can change everything, of course. But herO's keeping the Zealots back from right now. And, well, you know what? The splits are good. A lot of the Zealots do fall eventually. That is still a decent amount of Banelings that have now been spent. +2 is just about done. But now it's the queens that are getting low. The defense of the HP buffer, the stalwart force that you're looking for. But at this point, the splits from the Ling, the Baneling split or the Stalker splits are fantastic. There are not enough Lings to punish that, because that's what you want, right? There we go. herO takes game number 3. In the upper left, in the red, he's down a game in this series. He keeps trying this upgraded Ling style that's not really working out for him super well. It's Dark. And in the bottom right, in the blue, up 2 games to 1, looking to secure his second finals in a row over Dark. It's herO. And again, Dark and herO, they played a final the previous night. KSL 7 was Friday. This was played Saturday. 24 hours, just about the difference between the 2 series. Curious to see what's going to happen here, but for now, well, for now, the opener standard. So Gressfon's a big map, right? I mean, I said that. Altitude is also a fairly large map. That didn't stop herO from building 6 oracles and going for a massive 1-1 blink stalker timing. Although, in fairness, one might argue that the reason he could get away with so much tech greed early on was because it is such a big map. But Gressfon's kind of big in a different way in that the rush distance is not all that bad. It's still on the higher end, but it's not massive. Gressfon is just a big map because it is so wide and so tall and has so many bases. And that enables a kind of a different version of greed. You do still have to worry about armies running across the map just a little bit more. But on the flip side, you can just kind of expand away from it. And Dark, one of the things he's very good at is this creep spread, this ability to get a bunch of queens. And by the time any pressure happens, honestly have creep maybe not onto the high ground here, which is what would be ideal, but at least, down onto the low ground. A screen or 2 off from the bases. And that gives you so much surround potential, so much ability to take the fight that you want to take. But herO is doing something different. In this game, he's gotten Stargate 3 games in a row, and I think I said in the last game, herO, he does it at least 60% of the games. We have hit our quota in game 3. Well, seems like we have, because there's a Twilight on the way in game number 4. Halfway done, in fact. Is this going to be Glaives? I'm going to assume this is Glaives. That is kind of a herO thing. He's been messing. Yeah, herO's actually been playing a decent amount of Glaives into Disruptors. Granted, Glaives on a map like Gressfon, we said it's not that long, but it's still on the longer half of rush distances. So that's a little bit interesting. But there we go. Okay, Glaives on the way. 3 additional gateways getting added in. The funny thing, though, is there's no robo just yet. And I feel like we normally see the robo go down right around the... I mean, obviously, herO doesn't have the gas for it right now, but he's building a lot of adepts. So I feel like we generally see the robo go down right around the same time as Glaives goes down. Maybe even a little earlier, because you want to have that War Prism map pretty much too sweet. But instead, here's getting that robo much later, which tells us, okay, that I think that means that this is more likely going to be the disruptor drop follow-up than it is going to be, yeah, there's the robo going down. Finally. You want to be moving, if you're herO, you want to be moving across the map in 30 seconds. The warp prism will not be done by then. So, I don't know if this is a mistake from herO or a build order decision. I think it is more likely that he is just going to run out across the map with all these adepts that he has made, and he's going to have a lot more early on than he would, and turn this into disruptor drops behind. Not really commit to this super hard, because again, he's running out on the map. You want to, again, be active on the map 420, 430, but you want to have a warp prism with this. You want to be able to reinforce and move around and do all those wonderful things. So the fact that he's not going to be able to do that tells me, okay, warp prism's going to get made as the adepts for now. One of them will go down with minimal value. But it tells me that I think we're likely to see a Robo Bay go down pretty quickly off of this one. But for now, herO shades into the natural. Drones get pulled away. This is kind of a bad spot to shade. Queens get a lot of surface area, and because he blocked the natural, there was never going to be a lot of mining in it anyways. And Lings, they're going to force the adepts to stay right here. The Queens will just kill off the rest of them. It's going to be a recall. Disaster for herO in this game. And now he's building a warp prism. No Robo Bay. Third base, he's getting ready for it, but this build just feels poorly executed. I don't know whether he just forgot the Robo. Well, okay, so in fairness, he never had the gas for it, but the decision to build a bunch of adepts instead of building the Robo and build the adepts slightly later, I mean, I guess it gives you a nice timing, fine, but I don't know. I feel like having that reinforcement ability, the ability to reposition, is not. I feel like that's so much more valuable. But for now, adepts are going to shade in. They're going to find a bunch of Banes, and herO's going to have a sinking feeling in the pit of his stomach. This does not feel good. So, adepts to the front. They're going to try. I mean, there are 5 queens in the spine. It's not going to work out super well. Into the main base. Well, adepts also don't find any value. Banelings come trundling on forward, and herO, oh, he finds opportunity. But the Banelings, you know what? Nice splits from herO. He actually does not really take too much damage from that one. Lings on the high ground, Lings on the low ground. Banelings are going to try to find connections, and they do, but they don't really find the best one. So this is starting to get a little bit better. Lings, though, perfect surround on the adepts as they shade on in. More are going to warp in here. Queen's target the warp prism down to the nascent adepts. They do not get to live their lives in peace and harmony. Well, the Zerg does. The adepts do not. The shades, they do not. They don't complete those. So adepts in the main, that's something, but the drones have all been pulled into the natural. And I would not say, by the way, that this is herO making this work. Yeah, you know, he's gotten 6 drones. Dark went very greedy on this style. He did not get a roach warren. He's not been building roaches. He's on, despite losing those roaches, he's on 40, or those Lings, he's on 42 drones, which is, he was close to 50 before then. Normally you stop at 41 is kind of the play. Dark went very greedy off this. He does not take in a lot of damage. He got the warp prism. herO is so far behind in this game. And he's got more adepts. Sure, fine. His tech is miles behind. He had to build another warp prism after he lost the first one. He's building his first immortal right now. And I would not be surprised to see Dark. I've questioned his decision-making in terms of the build he goes for, how aggressive or not he has wanted to play in this series. But in this game, I would not be surprised to see him move across the map in like a minute or two once he's able to properly get his production up and running and just kind of kill herO. And I think that is going to be a fantastic decision. But for now, the adepts, they think about shading in. There are too many queens here. There's a spine on the way in the main. Adepts are looking for a drop, but Lings are shadowing it. Banelings as well. I mean, I guess high ground, low ground is the best he can accomplish. But herO's trying to make a miracle out of a molehill at this point. Oh, Warp Prism gets so low at this point. And, okay, it's going to go down. Second Warp Prism hits the deck as the Queen gets close. And there's +1 on the way. There's Blink on the way. Fine. So hero's trying to do something off of this. Robo Bay on the way. Blink on the way. +1 on the way. Another Warp Prism. The third Warp Prism on the way. But it's a tech problem at this point. Dark is... We're not seeing Dark's supply start to skyrocket just yet, but... Oh, he's... Oh, this is how herO lost so many games when he was coming back from military. He would just leave a wall open. This time, though, it's even worse because we expect better from him. 11 probes are going to go down. Baneling's morphing in the main base. Don't know if herO saw that. in all the chaos, and now one link's gonna... Okay, so herO sees this. That much is fair. The Warp Prism saw it, but 11 probes hit the deck. So now Dark, he's got his lair. We actually don't have roach speed just yet. We're lacking that one. But Dark's on 4 hatches, just about. He's got 61 drones. His army supply is pretty good. He's in a pretty... I think we're going to see herO want to move out on the map pretty soon. But yeah, he's going to have Blinking +1 done. But by the time that happens, Dark is going to start to pretty significantly raise that supply gap. So for now, Adepts, they run forward once again. And also, we talked about supply, right? How big is the gap? It's a pretty solid, like, first order approximation. As Banelings get 5 more probes, it's a pretty solid first order approximation on is the timing working? Is the Protoss ahead? Are they able to push through? Because when you start to see the Protoss army supply get within like 5, certainly if they're ahead, it's pretty likely that their push is going to win the game. But if we look at the army composition here that herO is making, he's got 8 Adepts on the map, 5 Zealots. The Zealots are fine. Adepts are pretty horrendous units for the most part. They're just not good against Roachling Bane, which is what Dark is making. And that, yeah, sure, you can go for harass. But the point I'm making here is that the army supply is a lie. herO is down 20 army supply. That's fine. But more importantly, Disruptor shot. They're not... That's a 3rd dead Warp Prism herO, and that's going to make him tap out. Okay. Or is it a 4th? It was a... Wait, what? Yeah, it was a 3rd dead Warp Prism. The upper right in the red. He won game 4, but it'd be more accurate to say his opponent lost it. It's Dark. On the bottom left, in the blue, tied up at 2, is herO. So as a major herO fan, and obviously I'm going to cast this as unbiased as possible, but as a major herO fan, I really hope he brings it back together a little bit. That last game was sloppy. His robo, because he built Adepts early on, I can't tell you whether that was a mistake, whether that was a purposeful decision. It probably was a purposeful decision, but I don't think it was a good one. His robo had to go down super late because he built a lot of Adepts early, and then he didn't have a Warp Prism. He didn't have the ability to reinforce. Dark held on just about like 50 drones, I think, instead of 41 off a Lingbane spine hold, and herO got only 6 drones, and then a Warp Prism died, and a 2nd Warp Prism died, and then a 3rd Warp Prism died. Yeah, it was just... Sometimes those games happen, though. You think you're in a good spot, and then it just starts to snowball out of control. So if I'm herO, and that just happened to me, I'm going back to my roots. I'm going Stargate. I'm going to go build. I'm going to play the builds that have won me championships, that have won me, that like have, had people realize that I'm in fact the best PvZ player in the world. And it's Royal Blood. It's a map where there is, it's not the best at airspace, but there's a decent amount. And there we go. Stargate on the way. herO, that's actually something we need to talk about a little bit, because one of the things that you can take a look at when you say, okay, why was that so awkward? Well, one of the obvious examples, nice little body blocking there on the probe from Dark, is the fact that this was a game where herO was up a map, or a series where herO was up a map. He could afford to lose game 4 and still be in a fine spot. And that means that it's like, okay, well, you've lost game 4. Whatever, you still have game 5. You can still come back, and herO is no stranger to adversity. Although sometimes that adversity is a little bit too much of a problem. I think back to, say, IEM Katowice. Yikes. Sorry, not this IEM Katowice. The IEM Katowice finals versus SOS, the $100,000 winner-take-all tournament, where he just got 2-gate over and over and over again, and it was just really rough. But for now, Adepts in the main base into the 3rd, looking for a little bit of the value that herO was able to find in game number 3. Well, Queens are doing a good job of poking things away. Adept gets 1 drone. He's going to get another? No. Lynx kill that off. So, 1 for 1. Obviously, the cost is not quite the same, but hey, it's a full scout. It's distracting But Dark is pumping a ton of lings here. How many lings does he have? He's got 16 lings on the map, and this is a third base denial force. Okay, so a couple lings are going to find the Adept. Oracle turn. Oh, this is bad for herO now. He turns on the Pulsar Beam, but that means that this Oracle's not going to be able to defend lings on the other side. They're going to try to poke around, and there will be I think there will be enough lings to cancel this third, but more depths arrive. Oracle, again, doesn't really have the energy, and yeah, a couple extra lings join in. herO, it's killed. herO, that was a dead nexus. herO had it killed, not canceled. And this feels like more of game 3, more of game 4. herO, that should never have happened. I guess he thought he was going to be able to keep it, but at such low HPs, you just got to cancel. It's not worth it. It wasn't really even that far. It had been building for about 15 seconds. Like, it wasn't even like you were going to lose a ton of build time. So now herO is just massively behind. Oracles are looking for something. There is nothing in the natural. There's one drone. Fine, kill it, herO. In fact, he's not even to waste the energy on it. He needs the time. Lings find their way into the natural right now. Another Adept warps in, though, and the Lings, unfortunately, they don't run into the main. They're not able to find that scout. But now Lings on the other side. Oracle doesn't have a lot of energy anymore. And more Adepts will fall, but it's not going to be enough to cancel this base again. Even still, herO is just on his heels. Dark can do whatever he wants at this point. And what Dark wants to do right now, drone like a madman. 10 drones on the deck here. Dark's only on 1 gas. He's mining from it again, of course. He wants to be able to get that layer up eventually. We're going to see it soon. But he is going max saturation, making sure that he can deal with any sort of Oracle pressure, maybe. But, yeah, there we go. There's the layer on the way. He wants to make sure he doesn't really take too much Oracle damage. And by the way, herO has gone Foracle. Or Tetracle, if we want to use the Greek roots. But regardless, he's got 2 Oracles aggressively, 2 Oracles defensively. But at this point, Dark is just... his economy is like gangbusters here. Mining almost 3,000 minerals a minute. And yeah, 54 drones is not that exciting, but that's because he's maxed out on minerals. If 48 drones is all you need to hit maximum mineral saturation on 3 base. After that, the 66 is because you want to spend 18 drones on your gas. So as long as that happens, but now Queens are going to dive in. Well, Oracles are going to dive in on the Queens. There are 3 of them here. There's a Spore as well, but herO is starting to find some value. 1 Queen goes down at the cost of an Oracle. 2 Queens fall, though, and that's actually going to be pretty nice. He's going to dive in again. Does he dare? Queen gets drawn back out a little bit, but I don't think the Oracles have a lot. No, they do. They're going to dive on top of this Queen once again. Regicide, 3 Queens will fall. Oracle, oh, stays alive just barely. 2 HP. 2 HP on the Oracle. And now what are we looking at? It's 4 Queens. And Dark was going for Queen Roach Nidus, by the way. So losing those Queens does slow you down. And also, where is this Nidus Worm? Is herO aware of it? That's kind of the really big question here. Where's the Nidus? Okay, so herO doesn't see it. herO has no idea that there's a Nidus on the way. Meanwhile, Ling's on the other side. They kill a Stalker. But it's greed. It's massive greed coming out of herO at this point. He's got a Templar Archives and a Robo-Bay on the way at the same time. And, man, the Nidus is ready. We're going to see the Nidus pop up right at the front. This is not a, I got Nidus in your main. Good luck. This is just a reinforcement potential. This is Dark right now, making sure that his Roaches, his Queens, his Ravagers, his Lings, they're going to show up, and they're just going to hit hard as hell. So Roach is now starting to pop out. Lings get on top of the Zealots, and you might say, hey, that feels weird, but the Lings, they just get the surround. They want to kill the Zealots quickly as possible. Force field's nice, and some of these Lings will fall down, but eventually the Roaches and the Queens, they're going to punch through this wall. The creep is going to continue to spread. The Oracles cannot be useful here, because the creep spread will continue. And the Queens beneath, they're just there for anti-air. Anything else they do is gravy. They just want to be able to kill things. So now, they want to be able to zone these Oracles out. So now, Nidus in the main, but herO can't really deal with that one. We're going to see pylons go down. herO getting dangerously close to getting supply block. Gateway's getting depowered. And it's Disruptors on the way. I mean, we're going to have to see some massive Disruptor shots. Queens, Roaches into the main base here. Roaches move on in as well. And it's just round 2. And this one's far more scary. Oracles have to join the fray. No shield batteries in the main base here. 1 Queen's a little bit isolated. But now we're going to see the Oracles. They're going to start to fall. Shield battery. You know what? Actually, Guardian Shield did a great job and the Queens weren't really fighting as well as they could have, but the body blocks actually from the Nidus network means that the Zealots can't join in. It's a massive wall. Disruptor shot gets a Ravager, gets a Queen, but even still, Roach is in the main base, Roach is in the natural. herO has been absolutely flummoxed, slobber knockered, caught absolutely off guard by this build from Dark. He had no idea, was not ready for it, and no amount of disruptor shots at this point feel like it will do enough. I mean, Dark even dodges the disruptors into the Nidus network, and now we're gonna see another shot go off. Nothing there. Oh, Dark, you beautiful man. This is gorgeous. This is disgusting. Even as Dark tries desperately to hold, 37 probes in the deck. Eventually, shield batteries are gonna run out. Eventually, more and more are gonna find their way into the main, and there's no holding this. herO often takes a while to leave games as he thinks he might have a hope, but Dark takes EPT Korea 171. I saw people saying that herO never dies, but herO is in fact dead. But now, if you watch this, you should sub to my YouTube channel if you enjoyed it. You got this far, because I upload casts 6 days a week, and on Sundays, most Sundays at least, we got the Nidus News Network. Your 10 to 15 minute recap of all the news in the Starcraft scene that you may have missed. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Catch you next time.